And pour like half a cup?
It's a little half.
I need a full cup. What's the point of that?
Because it's soda.
You can make the shit flat.
You're not supposed to make soda.
No, you can. I asked for a cup of soda.
Here.
Little boy, man. Take him out there. I hear him crying and shit. Non-stop.
Come here.
And so you know how to quiet him down. Do that shit.
Why are you throwing my phone on the floor if I let you use it? Oh, I'm gonna kiss these toes. I'm gonna kiss them. Don't make me call you stinky. Don't make me. Don't make me kiss you, my big old stinky. What, you looking outside?
It's hot.
Outside?
It's hot.
You looking outside?
It's hot.
Can I have a kiss?
It's hot.
Can I have a big old kiss? Can I have a big old kiss it? Because I love you?
It's hot. It's hot.
Kisses? Teddy? She wanted Teddy. Boy, be careful. Follow. You okay? My stinky. You okay? Well, you gotta relax. I'm Nothing. A big old boo. You need to be careful.
Isa. Isa.
You're such a smart baby. Barely. Stick it. No spoon. Wow. Boy, you gotta get off from me. Why are you biting them with your teeth?
Oh, shit. Oh, he farted. I thought he actually shit. You farting, boy? Farting your ass off in your sleep, man.
Boy, you're acting wild.
What? What?
What's wrong?
What, dude?
What?
Is his finger stuck in and shit?
Have a big old kiss. Titties. Titties. I love you, big old belly.
What, correct?
Boy, what are you doing?
What you doing? What you doing, Kodak?
My phone, big old belly. My phone, a big old belly. It's my phone. You gonna play with it? Boy. Boy. Go back over there. Boy. Boy.
Yes.
Yeah, I know the stimulus. I ain't gonna sell this PlayStation. I'm in terms of getting a 5.
Yeah.
That nigga voice sounds so funny to me. Hey. Hey.
No.
You, like.
No, naughty belly.
You just move him off the edge, bro.
That's why I wanted him in a playpen.
I don't want to hear it.
Here, I'll let you use my phone if you go in the playpen. Here. Yeah.
Aberdeen. I'm gonna give him that shit, them off the bed.
Here.
Hello.
Here. Boy, don't put that in your mouth. No. Why would you just drop my phone?
Hey, put the switch down for a second, my nigga. Damn.
Why don't you put the game down here?
Because I'm playing a ranked match. You know what I'm doing. Your shit ain't online. I'm playing Animal Crossing. Give us some of them titties, man. Because when he was out of there, he was on the switch.
Titties? Can we make your bottle? Come on, let's go make your bottle. Let me go make my bottle. Come on. You're such a heavy baby. Not a heavy boy. I'm gonna leave this open because I gotta clean it real quick. You see this?
Hey,
Huh?
come here.
No, no one's here.
Oh, you should have said that. Has he said anything to you?
No, nobody said anything to you.
Carlo.
Boy, relax. I'm gonna just put him to sleep out here. He's ready for his nap.
Come on, Kodak. Come buddy. Kodak. Kodak. Kodak.
Sleepy belly or what? Why say that? You want us to ask something? He came back to the door. Hurry up before we eat that. Okay.
Okay.
It's the day from last week and oh, shitting. He's shitting. Good boy. Were you doing anything?
What?
Are you doing anything?
The fuck do you see me doing?
Yeah, I was gonna finish baking the cookies.
How about figuring what time?
Huh?
I'm trying to figure out what time.
Waste time.
Try to figure out what time.
figure out what time?
You funny.
Oh yeah, that was because Kylo typed that to you when you question mark it. Kylo was typing.
What?
Give him some salad. It's a little windy outside. Hello? I'm baking cookies. Oh. Okay. Oh. No, not yet. No. I'm just getting ready to take this nap. No. It's Christmas sugar cookies. Okay. He said he's already here. He's just at the mall buying her a Christmas present.
You know I heard him.
What do you mean, honey?
And I said, no, I heard him. What the fuck? Hell no.
Well, I'm gonna go out there. I'm guessing you're not gonna spark it.
No.
Huh? What?
I'm not learning now.
Alright, I'm gonna go finish baking these cookies. I'm gonna go bake these cookies probably.
I just don't want to make a big scene about smoking, you know?
What do you mean?
You gotta get him dressed and all that bullshit.
I don't mind. Like, if he's already dressed, he just gotta get his socks on. But, come on, babe. It'd be nice. Just let me know what's up. He ended up taking his lap. Here or there, too. So, just let me know.
JoJo.
What?
That dude did a video on the shit I messaged him about about the stimulus shit.
Oh wow.
Yep, I win. I'm gonna come in. Get in.
You put people in power that don't even want to feed the people of America, but you feed the people over there in Cambodia and all the rest of the other countries. And don't get me wrong, food and shelter should be provided for free for everybody on this earth. I fully, totally believe that. But these demons, Democrats, they're purposely trying to flood America with foreigners, which usually I have no problem with. I love all people. Trump said, build a wall, and he sounded like he was racist when he said it. But he understood that there was a plan to flood urban areas where black people in America get the last of the last and the worst of food. Everybody in America comes before us. And now, when it comes to scraps, we got to compete and fight for everybody and fight with everybody over scraps, over jobs, over apartments. For example, Bronx River Projects, where I'm born and raised. Shout out to Chicken Ave, 174th. Right? And a lot of these complex projects is housing tenement buildings. They are only letting in Latinos. Shout out to my Latino brothers and sisters. And not giving apartments to the blacks. When they flood the community, our communities, the hood, the worst, the poorest of the poor communities, with these foreigners, this is who you're going to be competing with for jobs. And I'm going to keep it all the way funky. Starting with myself, me being a black man. I don't know how to really use my hands for mechanics and building like that. I'm actually in the process of teaching and educating myself right now to be a builder. These foreigners is coming over here with skills that we don't have as African American men. So automatically they're going to be eligible to get the job before you. Do y'all understand what's getting ready to happen? What's going on right in front of your eyes? These celebrities had so much to say to get Biden and his whole Babylon into office. What's her name again? Whatever. Jezebel, whatever. Paraded her around like the black queen, who was worse than but combined together, both of these politicians was worse than the bubonic plague to black people. And this is who y'all celebrating and serenading, right? But scratch what they did in the past, right? Because this is a new world order. Already starting off through the gate, they ain't answering no phone calls for the same people that got them in office. Already go straight through the gate. America is going through a crisis right now where the people need to be fed outside of food stamps, and they want to give you $600. $600. And not one voice of any of these so-called black activists that got so much to say has anything to say right now. See, I told y'all, and y'all wasn't paying attention, whether it be BLM or be these goddamn celebrities, Tamika Mallory, my son, why they so quiet? It's like, boom, with the snap of a finger, they all said, boof, and disappeared. Shit is about to get real on the battlefield in these last days of America as you knew it. The hate is real, but the love is fake. The hate is real, but the love is fake. You got countries all over in this stimulus package about to get all of this money, tax people money that we bust our ass for, and it's going out there, not even coming back to us. Y'all don't even understand. You are the plague. You are the sickness. You are the pandemic that they trying to cure. It's you. I told you. The hate is real, but the love is fake. Y'all put these people in office that don't even want to feed you during a pandemic. I don't even think y'all understand. All you hear is that we beefing between China and Russia, two superpowers. All you keep hearing is that the power outage may happen this winter, meaning that it's going to be a cold winter, maybe possibly the coldest winter ever for you. Now picture freezing in the East Coast with nothing to eat. None of us ain't got no real hunting skills like that to survive no 0 degree, 20 degree weather of New York, Connecticut, Jersey. Are you kidding me? Real people do real things, man. Y'all better wake up and smell the coffee, because it's real on the battlefield. And a lot of y'all keep getting distracted. And when I say y'all, I'm talking to my people, the people of the sun. You're getting distracted by this celebrity gossip, not realizing that they put these fools here like the days of Gladiator and the days of Rome. They had the gladiators going to war with the swords in the arena. The same way today they keep you with the basketball, the football, to keep you distracted, dumbed down. While these politicians is passing laws that's going to affect you. It is what it is, man. America is starving right now. Everybody ain't eating. America is starving. And yeah, I know on Instagram you see a lot of dudes flashing money right now. Oh, that's right. That was all of the stimulus money that Donald Trump sent out there that they were stealing. So they were sitting up there with their fraud, but they was eating. Donald Trump made it to where that everybody in the hood was flashing thousands of dollars in front of their Instagram camera. Biden said, April Fools, it's over now. Get it how you living. Let me ask every last one of y'all a question. What do you think is going to happen throughout the streets of America in urban areas when those trucks stop coming in to urban area neighborhoods and supermarkets? How many days do you think it's going to take? 3. Before the supermarkets don't have any food because there's a major pandemic going on. Worst case scenario, military will be set up to keep you locked and confined in your house so that you do not spread a sickness. So while you are under quarantine in your house, do you have enough food to feed your family? And if the food in your house runs out, how long will it take before the same vultures that live in your community, that feast off the community by selling crack, coke, dope, how long will it take before those little dusty, decrepit, violent little, I don't even know what to call them, the criminals in your neighborhood, the ones that's all part of the crime, how long is it going to take before their stomachs start touching their back and they want the food that you stored up inside your house? Ask yourself that question, because it's going to come a time in America under these last days of America where you're going to have to muffle the smell of your food cooking in your house, because there's going to be people that's starving and that's going to feel like they ain't going to let they starve. They'd rather take yours. Are you strong enough to defend yours? Do you even have enough to feed your children? Just imagine looking at your children laying up in your house with their stomachs touching their backs, and they can't come out for food and shelter because we are under the threat of a pandemic that's actually growing and mutating. The first wave, that was the rock to sleep. The second wave, well, it was like Biden said. It's going to be a dark, cold winter. It's like President Trump said. This is the calm before the storm, because everybody knew that this was already written, predicted, scripted. Now it's going to play out. Are you ready for that storm?
I'm Joe Biden, Dr. Joe Biden's husband. Just like educators everywhere, being an educator is what she does. It's who she is. Once again, during this pandemic, we've seen who our educators are. They're selfless, they're dedicated, they're cut from a true cloth of character and commitment. They represent one of the most critical professions in America, and that's not hyperbole, that's a fact. From cradle to career, they give people of all ages the confidence to believe in themselves, to equip them to succeed. And as Jill says, any country that out-educates us is going to outcompete us. And this critical moment of our nation's history, it's essential that there is an educator serving as Secretary of Education. I want to make that clear again. An educator, someone who's taught in the classroom, comes out of the classroom. Today, I'm pleased to announce that such a nominee we have, Dr. Miguel Cardona. Like other cabinet nominees and appointees, he's brilliant, he's qualified, and he's tested. And he's going to join the Biden-Harris cabinet, and it's going to be a historic cabinet. Already, there are more people of color in this cabinet than any cabinet in the history of the United States. There are more women than ever. First openly gay cabinet member. It's a cabinet that looks like America, taps into the best of America, that opens doors and includes the full range of talents we have in this nation. And like the rest of the team, Dr. Cardona is ready on day one. Vice President-elect Harris and I were going through you're on this side, I apologize. We're going through this, and we were doing it on Zoom, who we're going to pick, and we're getting all this advice, and we looked at each other and said, no, it's Cardona. It's real easy. So Vice President-elect knew we needed an education secretary who truly understands what it's been like for educators, administrators, families, caregivers, and students this past year. They worry. They're under stress. They stretch local budgets that have left educators out of work. There's mixed signals from the White House that have left more confusion than calm. And they left so many parents and schools feeling like they're on their own. But we also need someone who knows what it's like, what it takes to get through this crisis. Reopening schools safely will be a national priority for the Biden-Harris administration. Early next year, I will put forward before the Congress our plan as to what comes next. But I assure you it includes funding to keep educators on the job just like we did during the Recovery Act. And it saved 400,000 education jobs and the future of millions of children. It also includes asking Congress to provide funding needed so we can achieve the ambitious but doable goal of safely opening a majority of our schools by the end of our first 100 days. We can do this if states and cities put strong public health measures in place that we can all follow. For example, in our first 100 days, I'll be asking all Americans to mask up for 100 days. We'll require masks in federal buildings, interstate travel, and the like, and on trains, where I have the authority to insist that happen. We're also been talking to governors and mayors and county executives of both parties to try to do the same in their cities and their states. We can do it if we get school districts, communities, and states the clear guidance and the resources they need for so many things that aren't in their already tight budgets. They need funding for testing to help people reopen schools, more funding for transportation so students can maintain social distancing on school buses. There's a need for school buildings for additional cleaning services, protective equipment, ventilation systems. But to lead the national effort requires an education secretary with the skills to partner with educators, states, localities, and tribal nations, and all across students and families as well. It also requires someone who understands the need to prevent the pandemic from further exacerbating the inequities in our education system that represents a compounding problem we have. They hold back children. They hold back educators. They hold back our country from fulfilling its potential. Take remote learning. How can it be in America that parents must drive to a parking lot of a coffee shop or a library for Wi-Fi that they can't afford at home, so their children can sit in the car, participate in class, and do their homework over the net? This gap of broadband technology and the opportunity could some kids cost them a full year or more of learning. That's unacceptable in the United States of America. We need to act now, but it's only just a start. We need someone with the experience to help us build back better with the Biden-Harris education plan. We need to make sure that every child in this nation has access to a good education regardless of their zip code. I know you're probably tired of me saying that, but it's critically important. I've been saying it for over a year. Regardless of any disability. That's why my plan triples funding for Title I schools, which serve the highest number of children from low-income families. We need to make sure every child will have access to high-quality universal pre-K. I'm not talking about daycare. I'm talking about universal pre-K. That is starting at age 3, 4. We need to finally pay teachers what they deserve. The work they do is of extreme national importance, and their salary should reflect that. But they can't do it alone. So we're going to make an unprecedented investment to double the number of school psychologists, counselors, nurses, and social workers in our schools. When trained professionals are helping care for students' mental health and behavioral needs, along with concerns around things like housing and food, it frees up educators to focus on teaching and the other critical work that teachers do in the classroom. We'll make sure students with disabilities have the support to succeed by fully funding the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act. We're going to upgrade school infrastructures to make sure classrooms are safe, build schools that are hubs of innovation and cutting-edge learning. We know that in the 21st century, 12 years of schooling is not enough, and that young people are getting crushed by the burden of student debt. Under the legislation we're going to be proposing, we're going to have a number of policies to provide affordable higher education to alleviate that financial burden. This includes anyone being able to get into community college and be able to go there for free. Public colleges and universities will be tuition free for families earning less than $125,000. We're going to cut student loan payments in half by using those income-based payments. $25,000 or less per year, you won't owe a dime of payment or interest while you're only at that level. If you make more than that, you only pay a small percentage of your income in order to be able to pay off your debt. Our legislative plan also means that if you choose to go into public service, whether you're a teacher, a paramedic, counseling victims of domestic violence, or whatever else, it's only right that our country wipe out your student debt altogether over time. It includes forgiving debt for undergraduate public tuition if you're earning less than $125,000 a year. It means immediately forgiving $10,000 in student debt in the midst of this economic crisis. We'll also invest more than $70 billion in historic black colleges, universities, and minority-serving institutions to help prepare these graduates, like our Vice President-elect, for good-paying jobs and industries of the future. There's so much we can do, so much, and we can afford to do it. We can build an economy that eases the financial burden of the caregiving crisis. Make sure working families don't pay more than 7% of their income on child care for their young children. And like we did during the Obama-Biden administration, we can combat campus sexual assault under Title IX, something the Trump administration and the current Secretary of Education have only undermined. The bottom line is we can achieve all these critical things, but we need someone who gets that education isn't just what we do as a nation. It's who we are. It's who we are. It's the reason why we were one of the first nations in the world to have universal education. It was the reason why we got propelled in the 20th century to begin to lead the world economically. And that person who understands this, I'm proud to announce, is former Secretary of Education I'm talking about his existing job. Actually, it's not called education, but anyway, the Secretary of Education we nominate is Dr. Miguel Cardona, fourth grade public school teacher, the youngest principal in the state of Connecticut, first official Latino to serve as the Education Commissioner. I started to call him a Secretary of Education Commissioner. Dr. Cardona rose up the ranks to become an assistant superintendent in the same school district he attended as an English learner student. The same district where he was born in public housing. The son and grandson of parents and grandparents who moved from Puerto Rico in search of new opportunities. He made it a point of taking new teachers on tours of his district's neighborhoods. The wealthy blocks where students grew up with every resource they needed to get ahead. And the blocks where families were struggling to get by, where a new calculator or a nutritious breakfast weren't a given. He understands that the deep roots of inequity that exist as a source of our persistent opportunities gaps. He understands the transformative power that comes from investing in public education. In our conversations, Dr. Cardona talked about how public education was the great equalizer. It gave him a chance to reach the dream his parents and grandparents had for him. A place where a high school teacher inspired him to be an educator. Public education would help Miguel become one of the first in his family to go to college. The first to earn a doctorate. And with that preparation and grounding, Dr. Cardona has brought his heart, his knowledge, and his passion for education to bear on behalf of the students across Connecticut. And when that pandemic struck, he was ready. He helped secure more than 140,000 laptops, more than 40,000 internet connections for students who lacked them. Because of him, Connecticut became the first state in the nation to ensure that every single public school student was equipped to engage in remote learning regardless of family income. As the months passed, he followed health guidance and he got the funding and the resources to provide masks and plexiglass and testing so schools could reopen and operate safely. That's the vision, resolve, and initiative are all going to help us contain this pandemic and reopen our schools safely and build back better. And it's a standard of care that comes from having taught in a classroom. That comes from a hardworking family who found their way in America through public education. It comes from someone who knows from his core that our nation's children are the kite strings that lift our national ambitions aloft. He is the Secretary of Education for this moment. I thank him and his family for accepting this call to serve. We could not do this without them or him. To the career staff of the Department of Education, you'll have a fantastic and trusted leader who will help you carry out the department's mission with honor and integrity, the honor and integrity of an educator. And to the American people, to educators, families, caregivers, and students, help is on the way. I wish all of you a Merry Christmas and a happy holiday. May God bless you all and may God protect our troops. I'm going to turn you over to the next Secretary of Education, Dr. Miguel Cardona.
Mr. President-elect, Madam Vice President-elect, thank you for this opportunity to serve today. I know how challenging this year has been for students, for educators, and for parents. I've lived those challenges alongside millions of American families. Not only in my role as State Education Commissioner, but as a public school parent and as a former public school classroom teacher. For so many of our schools, far too many of our students, this unprecedented year has piled on a systemic crisis. It's taken some of our most painful, long-standing disparities and wrenched them open even wider. It's taxed our teachers, our leaders, our school professionals and staff, who already pour so much of themselves into their work. It's taxed families struggling to adapt to new routines as they balance the stress, pain, and loss that this year has given. It has taxed young adults trying to chase their dreams to advance their education beyond high school and carve out their place in the economy of tomorrow. And it has stolen time from our children. We've lost something sacred and irreplaceable this year, despite the heroic efforts of so many of our nation's educators. Though we are beginning to see some light at the end of the tunnel, we also know that this crisis is ongoing, that we will carry its impacts for years to come, and that the problems and inequities that have plagued our educational system since long before COVID will still be with us even after the virus is gone.
What Kodak?
So it's our responsibility. It's our privilege to take this moment and to do the most American thing imaginable. To forge opportunity out of crisis. To draw on our resolve, our ingenuity, and our tireless optimism as a people. And build something better than we've ever had before. That's a choice Americans make every day. It's a choice that defines us as Americans. It's the choice my grandparents made. Avelino and Maria de la Paz Cardona and his mother Rosa.
Come on,
When they made their way from Aguada, Puerto Rico, for new opportunities in Connecticut. Proud to say I was born at the Yale Acres housing projects. That's where my parents, Hector and Sarah Cardona, instilled early on the importance of hard work, service to community, and education.
All right, come in.
I was blessed
Come in.
to attend
Come in.
the public schools in my
You got
hometown,
stuck under the
Meriden,
bed. Come
Connecticut,
in.
where I was able to expand my horizons and become the first in my family
There you
to graduate college and become a teacher, a principal, and assistant superintendent in the same community that gave me so much. That is the power of America.
I actually have to shit though.
And I,
Like really
being
bad. Make sure he doesn't fall out there either.
education was the great equalizer. But for too many students, your zip code and your skin color remain the best predictor of the opportunities you'll have in your lifetime. What the educational scholar Pedro Riguera calls the normalization of failure to hold back the of America's people. For too long, we've allowed students to graduate from high school without any idea of how to meaningfully engage in the workforce, while good-paying, high-skilled, technical trade jobs go unfilled. For far too long, we've spent money on interventions and band-aids to address disparities, instead of laying a wide, strong foundation of quality, universal early childhood education and quality social and emotional support.
You should come down here.
For far too long, we've let college become inaccessible to too many Americans for reasons that have nothing to do with their aptitude or aspirations, everything to do with cost burdens, and unfortunately, an internalized culture of low expectations. For far too long, we've worked in silos, failing to share our breakthroughs and our successes in education. We need schools to be places of innovation, knowing that this country was built on innovation. And for far too long, the teaching profession has been kicked around and not given the respect it deserves. It didn't take a pandemic for us to realize how important teaching is in this country. There are no shortage of challenges ahead. No shortage of problems to solve. By the same token, there are countless opportunities for us to seize. We must embrace the opportunity, build it back better. We must evolve it to meet the needs of our students. There's a saying in Spanish that we say, en la unión está la fuerza. We gain strength from joining together. In that spirit, I look forward to sitting at the table with educators, parents, caregivers, students, advocates, state, local, and tribal leaders. There's no higher duty for a nation than to build better paths, better futures for the next generation to explore. For too many students, public education in America has been a flor pálida.
Little boy.
We must be the master gardeners and cultivators who work every day to preserve its beauty and its purpose. I'm grateful for the chance to take on this responsibility. My children, Miguel Jr., or as we call him, Angelito, to my daughter, Celine, to my wife, best friend, Marissa, herself, the middle school family school liaison. And I'm grateful for the trust you placed in me as the President-elect, Vice President-elect. I look forward to getting to work on behalf of America's children, and the families and the communities, the nation they will grow up to inherit and lead. Thank you.
careful.
My first grade teacher, Mrs. Frances Wilson, God rest her soul, attended my law school graduation. She taught our first grade class with 2 teachers' aides and 22 students in the classroom. And she insisted me deeply on the importance and significance of public education.
Boy, you couldn't break my
that I
switch.
carry with me to this day. If we are going to fulfill our commitments, we must be dedicated to
What you did to push it, you always
How?
do.
He so boxed himself.
Grab him. He just hit this shit hard as fuck on my knee. I don't care what you're saying, bro. You need to stop doing that. Rub his head. Right there.
We also
The
know
fuck is
that right
wrong
now,
with you, man?
graduation
No, don't start. I didn't do nothing. My only reason why I'm in the bed, don't start.
is reeling from this pandemic.
You need to
Parents
fucking
and
be careful,
educators are
bro.
stretched to their limits. And so are the cafeteria workers,
Tired
bus
of
drivers,
talking about
custodians,
this shit.
and
Then you
nurses.
try to spin it like I'm doing anything.
Students at colleges and technical
Bitch
colleges
ass.
now worry about losing credits, losing financial aid, and losing
Shut up,
income
don't
from
start,
working on
please,
campus.
because you don't even understand and you just sitting here trying to fucking go back into it. Stop
On
that.
the mental health and well-being of our students of all ages
Shit.
who are at risk of falling behind. At
Don't
the same
even
time,
understand
this
what the
pandemic
fuck I'm
threatens to
saying to
widen
you.
disparities
That's the
between
worst part,
students
bro.
of different races and backgrounds, making it
Yeah, I
harder
don't
for
want to be
those
wrong
who
shit
already
up out of
feel
here,
behind
please.
to keep up.
My knee literally
So first
bleeding
things
from
first,
his head,
we
bro.
need
What
to
the
get
fuck
this
you
virus
talking
under
about?
control and
I
reopen
didn't
our
knee
schools
him in the
safely,
head.
as the president-elect always says. And that is why the president-elect and I are supporting
let's do it,
funding
man.
for our
Shit.
education system in this recently passed COVID-19 relief legislation. And we will continue to fight for additional emergency relief for our educators and our schools. And even as we do, we must also build a public education system that lifts up all Americans.
Literally, my knee hurt, bro,
Regardless of
from
race,
his head.
background,
That's
or
not
zip
fair to me or him. Click to fucking eye, try to talk shit back. This shit's so annoying.
Well, Shep, a leadership aide described the mood as one of irritation and befuddlement after President Trump's 11th hour challenge to members of Congress who had already left Washington, having passed the $2 trillion, 5,000-plus page bill covering both government funding through September and $1 billion in COVID relief. President Trump wants to strip certain spending provisions his administration requested and increase the amount of the direct checks, but neither of those is expected to move forward, I have learned from sources. GOP leader Kevin McCarthy, a key ally of Trump's, is expected to object to Democrats' efforts to seek unanimous support for $2,000 checks, and in response, McCarthy's plan is to address President Trump's concern on spending by separating out State Department and foreign aid from the rest of government spending. Democrats are expected to object to that, and we will be back again at square one. The question then becomes, will the president actually veto it? The New York Times is reporting that McCarthy told his Republican colleagues on a call this afternoon that he talked to the president, who told him he hasn't decided whether or not to veto it. Now, Trump could also quietly veto it, the so-called pocket veto, by letting 10 days lapse before signing it, but unemployment benefits would expire and the government would shut down before that actually happened. Shep?
Also, before he left, the president vetoed the massive defense spending bill.
That's right. This was a separate $740 billion bill funding the military, and he had long said that unless it included protections for the names of military monuments and strict content protections for these big social media companies, that he would veto it. And that's exactly what he did. Those are the reasons that he cited this afternoon in doing so. But some of the Republican senators who had criticized the president for trying to add some of these unrelated issues to defense spending are not backing down. Senator Jim Inhofe, who is one who ended up in Trump's crosshairs for refusing to combine specifically the tech and military issues, just today tweeting this in response, saying the NDAA has become law every year for 59 years straight because it's absolutely vital to our national security and our troops. This year must not be an exception. Our men and women who volunteer to wear the uniform shouldn't be denied what they need, ever. We should note that NDAA had a veto-proof majority in both chambers, and we're expecting the House to meet on December 28th to override that veto. Jeb?
Kayla, thanks. Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube. Tonight, health officials sounding the alarm as the new strain of the coronavirus already here in the U.S. With Christmas travel in full swing, flights still being allowed into the U.S. from the U.K., where that highly contagious mutant strain has forced a lockdown. President-elect Joe Biden considering mandatory quarantine for U.K. travelers. And the CEO of the company that invented the Pfizer vaccine on whether it will work on the new strain. Dr. Anthony Fauci receiving the vaccine on live TV, his new message, and Health Secretary Alex Azar on how long you may have to wait. President-elect Biden's year-end address, his warning the darkest days of the pandemic are still ahead, and slamming President Trump, saying he failed to protect the U.S. from that suspected Russian cyber attack. The Department of Justice suing Walmart, alleging it helped opioids. The unarmed black man killed by police, the officer only turning on his body cam after the fact. And what has now happened? And after being diagnosed, a miracle baby finally headed home for the holidays.
Boys, stop it. Leave that shit alone.
Good evening, everyone. Public health officials are pleading with Americans to no holiday get-togethers in order to slow the spread of coronavirus. But adding to the domestic worries that brought a post-Thanksgiving wave of cases, there are heightened concerns about flights coming in from the UK, where a mutated strain of the coronavirus has forced that country into lockdown and raised alarm here and around the world. Miguel Almaguer has details. Tonight, flight after flight from the UK continued to touch down at JFK. Hundreds of travelers arriving from London. The contagious mutation of the coronavirus is spreading like wildfire. As some 40 countries put a stop to the arrival of similar flights, the president-elect weighed in today.
I wish you would learn how to grab your ass. Grab him, please.
Whether or not we should require testing before they get on an aircraft, number one. And number two, when they get there, quarantines.
New York's governor, who insists all UK travelers be screened and isolated if necessary, says state hospitals need to immediately begin testing for the new viral variant.
This is about time and urgency.
Who the fuck?
And this would be urgent.
The heightened concern comes amid a new deadly surge in COVID cases here at home and a national spike in travel.
It's very important to be home with your family during the holidays.
But there will be no holidays from the heart rate seen by frontline
Stop
workers.
doing that.
Okay, don't even go out there. Close the door. Close the door. Get your ass back in here. You're not gonna go out there with him crying. You need to learn how to check on him. Sit your ass down and check on him. Make sure he's good. Pay attention.
It's him trying to.
Open the door first. Open it. Then you go out of
And I was doing it. He wanted to flip over.
handle him. Stop trying to go back and forth. Rub his head. We just talked about this. The back of his head is what hit the door.
No, it didn't. Maybe
Yo, that's pretty quiet. Hot as a bitch, bro. Can't just lie. You can't do shit by yourself?
You're
You can't do shit by yourself?
Did you hear his song?
Whatever.
Nothing. No, he's about to take his nap. No, it's okay.
You sure?
Yes.
Well, let me let you know.
I already did.
The coronavirus is showing its power as a shapeshifter. But today, the CEO of BioNTech, the inventor of the Pfizer vaccine, said the vaccine could be
I'm gonna go with you. You want to go right there, or just slow it down. Swear to God.
British virologists estimate
Like he already over there. You go to Niger.
Go to their tree.
So what was you gonna do with him anyway? In the first place?
top medical advisors. Do you believe this variant is now already all over the world?
Boy, it's time to take a nap.
I wouldn't be surprised if there weren't already, I'm afraid, cases in the United States. And this isn't the only variant. As the pressure on the virus grows with natural infection and vaccinations now, we will see evolution in the virus and it will change.
The United Kingdom is a quarantine island. But at least tonight, hundreds of trucks stranded here will be allowed to cross to mainland Europe if drivers prove a negative COVID.
Man, grab him about to do that
This
before you
mutation
finish.
is a wake-up call. Dangerous, but treatable. The next one may
Stop
not be,
doing that.
so people can't let their guard down. Lester.
Richard, thank you.
It's the boss.
Oh, good morning, everyone. You know what? I can't even think it. The usual gifts are just not going to cut it. Good luck.
Stop it.
The U.S. Dr. Anthony Fauci and some of the nation's other top health officials came before the cameras today to receive their COVID vaccinations. Here's Tom Costello.
Nothing's funny.
Among the most trusted voices in the pandemic, Dr. Anthony Fauci rolled up his sleeve today, just 2 days before he turns 80.
As a symbol to the rest of the country that I feel extreme confidence in the safety and the efficacy of this vaccine.
Dr. Fauci received the Moderna vaccine, produced in collaboration with the NIH.
What we're seeing now is the culmination of years of research which have led to a phenomenon that has truly been unprecedented.
Also receiving their vaccinations, NIH Director Dr. Francis Collins and HHS Secretary Alex Azar. Nationwide, more frontline medical workers and nursing home residents were also lining up. In Clearwater, Florida, ICU nurse
You
Vera
think everybody thinking on you, nigga, because you don't understand how that shit sound. And you always trying to get, I didn't, instead of just handling
Nationwide,
it.
more Americans are willing to get vaccinated. A new USA Today Suffolk poll finds
I ain't walking
46%
into
will
no
take the
door,
vaccine as soon as
therefore
they
I
can.
ain't gotta sit there and act like I ain't had shit to do with your ass.
32% now say they'll wait for others to go first, while 20% say they won't
Fucking
get
up here
vaccinated.
beating his ass every day, then
On
wanna
when the
fucking
vaccine will be
bitch.
widely available. Mr.
Yeah,
Secretary, what is the
okay,
latest
just slow your
guidance on
ass
the general
down.
public will be able to get vaccinated?
We believe that we will have enough vaccine for every American who wants to be vaccinated by the second quarter of next year.
Also tonight, the New York Times and CNBC are reporting that
Fuck, like
Pfizer
don't
and
run
the
by a
Trump administration
pool.
are
Slow
nearing a
your ass
deal
down.
for another 100 million doses of the Pfizer vaccine in exchange for priority access to raw
Blame some shit
materials.
on the baby so much.
All right,
It's
Tom
his
Costello
fault.
tonight. Thanks.
Okay.
The CDC has said that healthcare workers and nursing home residents should get the vaccine first. But a number of members of Congress are facing some backlash after apparently moving to the front of the line. We get more from Garrett Hink.
Tonight, a growing backlash as rank-and-file lawmakers begin to receive the scarce coronavirus vaccine. Are they cutting the line ahead of frontline workers and the most vulnerable? Iowa Senator Joni Ernst, who in September floated a conspiracy theory that doctors were inflating virus death tolls for money, drew online mockery for tweeting about her vaccination Sunday. She declined to comment to NBC News.
Every one of those vials that's being used for a congressman and senator that have been doing nothing and that hasn't been on the front lines is another vial of vaccine that isn't going to a nurse.
Former CDC Director Tom Frieden agrees.
Residents of nursing homes, staff of nursing homes, and frontline healthcare workers should be at the front of the line.
At 80 years old and second in line for the presidency, few question whether Speaker Nancy Pelosi qualifies as essential for continuity of government. So too, 78-year-old Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. Kentucky Senator Rand Paul arguing on Twitter that younger, happier
members.
Okay.
Like Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, vaccinated last week, should be among the last, not first, to get a shot.
I will actually ask my constituents to take a vaccine that has not been instituted.
More than 40 members of Congress have tested positive for the virus, increasing the sense of urgency among other members to protect themselves here.
I also took this vaccine, frankly, because some of my colleagues have become super spreaders.
Now, at least 100 lawmakers have received their first vaccine doses. Garrett Haig, NBC News, the Capitol.
President-elect Joe Biden gave a year-end address today with a stark new warning about the pandemic and accusing President Trump of failing to protect the U.S. from the massive suspected Russian cyber attack. Here's Jeff Bennett.
Tonight, President-elect Joe Biden is delivering a fresh warning about the coronavirus crisis.
Our darkest days in the battle against COVID are ahead of us, not behind us.
Biden calling the $900 billion in coronavirus relief just passed by Congress a down payment on a bigger bill.
Congress did its job this week. I can and I must ask them to do it again next year.
The president-elect calling for more funding to help firefighters, police, and nurses, and to expand COVID testing, plus a third round of stimulus. Biden also blasting President Trump over the suspected Russian hack of U.S. government agencies.
This assault happened on Donald Trump's watch when he wasn't watching. But rest assured that even if he does not take it seriously, I will.
Meantime, President Trump late Tuesday now demanding changes to the coronavirus relief bill and issuing pardons to 15 people, including 2 former associates convicted as part of Robert Mueller's Russia investigation, 4 former Blackwater contractors who were convicted of killing unarmed Iraqi civilians in 2007, and multiple former Republican congressmen, including Duncan Hunter of California, who pleaded guilty to misusing campaign funds. Jeff Bennett, NBC News, the White House.
Walmart has been hit with a lawsuit by the Justice Department alleging the retail giant helped fuel the opioid crisis by filling thousands of invalid prescriptions at its in-store pharmacies. Walmart has disputed the allegations and said the Justice Department's investigation was, quote, tainted by historical ethics violations. There are tensions and questions in Columbus, Ohio, after a black man holding a cell phone was killed by police overnight. The mayor says the officer shooting, but an automatic.
I'm gonna go sit in the car.
No!
Don't you start? What the fuck wrong with you? I don't give a fuck, bro. Chill. He here. You loud as fuck. Be quiet.
Began separating migrant families at the border.
Fucking yell no. What's wrong with you? Like literally, I'm like, what is wrong with you?
No, because that means I could come to you.
No, nigga. What is wrong with you?
What's wrong
I
with
tell
you?
you something, your response is to yell no. I've been telling you all day, you hot as a bitch, bro. Chill. I do care. Relax.
This is one of the places where that search starts.
God damn.
Absolutely, yeah. Our job is to find the families that were affected by this policy.
Keep on fucking beating his ass, then mad when I say something. Chill with that bullshit.
He does it himself, so shut up.
Okay.
You're not watching him, so
Whatever.
shut the fuck up.
Watch your mouth. You starting shit.
Because I'm tired of you
I don't
blaming me
care.
for
I ain't
it.
sitting here talking shit with you. I'm really talking to you. Every 2 seconds some shit happening on your watch, bro. Okay, so I'd rather sit out there and you can handle that wild shit that you want. You don't realize I can't even talk to you in this bitch. Be quiet. You want to keep on going back and forth, they never without no chill. Stop that. Fucking annoying.
Correct.
A search for a class member on White Pages didn't find any information.
Correct.
You guys basically are detectives.
Literally.
Exactly, that's the scope of the job.
Motherfucker here, I ain't trying to be heard.
Politics. In
You
2019, the
keep
White
on
House
fucking
rejected a deal
talking
to
all
fund
the
Seneca's
time.
work connecting families, which a judge later ordered. Today, Seneca's treating around 250 families. Tiff introduced us to a father and son from El Salvador who were separated for over a month in 2018 and are now in therapy for their trauma.
In the 2 years since you got back together with your dad, how have you been feeling?
I was happy, but at the same time, nervous and scared. I still had the feeling a separation could happen again.
What would you say to other families who maybe are scared to pick up the phone when Seneca calls?
To really not be scared. I know a lot of us get nervous answering the phone and providing information, but I'm a real-life example that this really helps, and all they want to do is help us.
As families like this one receive treatment, the search for hundreds of others continues. Jacob Soberov, NBC News, Los Angeles.
In just 60 seconds, what you should do with your money now to help you in 2021. 2020 was tough on a lot of Americans' financial health, with hopefully better times on the way. Joel and Ken shows us how to start the new year off with a strong financial footing. And tonight's The Price You Pay.
With more than 20 million people on unemployment, the pandemic has wreaked havoc on the personal finances of so many. If you have gone through your savings, you're struggling, it's all about getting to an essentials-only budget and really spending intentionally. Experts advise get back to basics with meal planning and cutting back on TV subscriptions, for example. Renegotiate debt and perhaps pause retirement savings for now. If you're looking at various kinds of debt, credit card debt, student loan debt, perhaps a mortgage, how do you prioritize what should go first? Yeah, what you want to do is go with the highest interest rate debt first and pay that down. That typically is credit card debt. For the luckier ones, the personal savings rate has spiked to 14%, nearly double pre-pandemic levels. Experts recommend those who can should automatically put away money for each paycheck into savings. Money and invest in companies and causes we care about. For all of us, but I might say particularly for women, to begin investing some portion out of every paycheck in a diversified investment portfolio that has the opportunity to grow, those things really build up financial security over time. Setting yourself up for a stronger 2021. Jolene Kent, NBC News.
Up next, with fewer interactions, colder weather, and shorter days, how to cope this winter. As many as 2 in 5 Americans struggle with psychological issues caused by the pandemic, according to the CDC. And with winter here, coping can even be more challenging. Kate Snow with tonight's America Under Pressure.
Say, my mom makes lemon muffins.
Diana Rose-Becker appreciates that she still has a job as a speech-language pathologist in Atlanta, but her life right now is not what she planned. Single in a one-bedroom apartment, she's isolated. How would you define your mental health through all this?
Really anxious, and I think part of that comes from trying to guess what will be next.
Her entire family is in New York.
Right, leave the TV alone.
I hear your voice shaking.
I'm gonna fuck you
Yeah,
up.
that's what I'm saying. He's doing that. You have
I'm missing out on all of this.
I'm gonna fuck you up.
The cumulative effect of
You
all
bad.
that isolation
You
is really
naughty.
going to start showing up in the mental health of folks in this country.
Psychiatrist Brandy Jackson says feeling anxious is understandable. A good diet, exercise, sleep, and hydration will help. She also recommends meditation apps
She
and
can't grab
teletherapy.
you.
If you're on the fence about therapy, if you're saying, well, I might not be bad enough to go talk to someone, I would urge you to take that link.
APA.org has a psychologist locator by zip code, so does Psychology Today and Medicare.gov. Lower-income Americans can check their state's Medicaid plan. And seeing a licensed clinical social worker like Diana is doing can be more cost-effective help.
And then I did the most ridiculous thing of all, which is get a dog.
Not ridiculous, says Dr. Jackson.
There's actually really good data for pets and how they can help lower our blood pressure and help us with our mood.
She just got a new companion, too. Kate Snow, NBC News.
When we come back, a big Christmas miracle in a very small package. Christmas miracles come in all sizes and shapes. Tonight, one Chicago family is celebrating a tiny wonder that is a huge.
Boy. Carlo. Color. Oh my God.
What?
Get on my nerves, Color.
Telling you.
Go.
Every
Go.
way.
Go. Go.
Come here,
Get
titties.
from over here.
No. You
No.
sit by the window.
No. Because I'm not fucking looking over here, dog.
I'm talking about sit.
You can easily sit over here. I'm looking this way. You on your shit. You can sit right here where I tell you to always sit at when he over here, man.
Boy, come here.
Make up my goddamn mouth for this a bitch.
Boy, come here. Let me play with your phone. You can't get in. Play with your papa's phone.
No, what the fuck?
He can't get in.
I don't care. That my shit ain't a toy. That's some shit you do.
Oh my God.
Give him your phone. Bitch, I don't want my shit thrown on the phone on the floor at all. No screen broken, none of that shit. Volunteering my shit. Little boy. Beat your mama ass, bro. I swear.
Come here. Shush, shush, shush.
Hello. Boy. Stop. Please stop. No. 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 No.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
might be
you do
good.
need your diaper changed.
Why is his diaper out?
This you put this on him.
Can we fix it?
No, that shit dirty as a bitch.
Well, I gotta go get it from the closet to hold them.
You got something right there on the floor. Talking
No,
about them
those are number
threes.
threes.
It shouldn't be. Why is it threes in?
Because he got it from the living room.
Lying. That's why I don't like you. You always lying.
What?
Carlo. Boy.
Come here.
Chill, dude. Oh, man. I don't like you.
It's him.
That's you.
It's
you
my
always
face.
let him. Now you want to complain when somebody says something to you. You baby, you.
Come here. Come here. Come here.
Little boy.
You the big cool dude.
It's hot. It's hot. It's hot.
Yeah, it's hot.
It's hot. It's hot. It's hot. Oh my God.
Keep farting.
Yeah, that's that fucking diaper.
I'm talking about.
Well, you telling me I can't go outside, so how you want me to handle this? Same way you want to complain when the kids go to right? Fucking
Boy. Kylo.
exactly what the fuck I be talking about.
What?
Shut up with all that dramatic.
Because
shit.
you're
Shut
acting
up.
like.
You loud. Like literally, shut up. You loud. My nigga, literally, shut up.
Then stop saying shit.
No, bitch, you over there like this.
Like you're on your game.
Okay, and I'm at least right here.
I'm right here. You told me to
Okay,
come
nah, fuck that. You ain't where I'm at, bitch.
Cause I don't want to be right there. Cause he's still gonna try to go over me. He won't go over you, though. Here, boy.
You know.
No. Boy, you just love me so much.
I'm finna go to Little Caesars.
For what?
What do you think?
You're gonna get Little Caesars? Why?
Because.
Stop playing. Can I just go with you?
I didn't say I was playing.
Can I go with you?
No, you're annoying. You just bitch, you been yelling at me all night.
That's
as soon as she walked in the door, you started yelling. Bro, be quiet. Even now. As soon as she walked in the door, you started yelling over me nonstop. Okay.
Because he wanted to hurt himself and get mad at me. I don't like that.
Whatever.
I want to go.
I don't care. You little brat. This ain't that. Chill. It's the difference if I ask you, do you want to fucking go out? But you telling me ain't going nowhere. Keep trying to explain that to you, bro. I wasn't no kid that just told my parents I wanted to go somewhere and ended up going somewhere. Swear to God. Stay starting shit with me though. Bitch want her ass beat though.
Kylo, please.
I know, tell your dumbass mama to shut the fuck up. Being on my dick.
Toy.
Don't just say boy, get your bitch ass up.
Baby, you get up. Come here. It's time to take your nap.
You annoy me so much with this shit.
Kylo. Stop being not funny. Kylo Christopher. Boy, you need to be careful. Stop, Bubble. Stop being a berry bean. Take a nap. What you doing?
You could have did that the whole time instead of being a bitch.
What? Hello, time to take a nap. No. I'm gonna kiss you. I'm gonna kiss you. What? You sleepy yet? No. No.
Carlo. Carlo.
Carlo. It's time to take your nap. It's time to take a nap. My blue tooth blue.
Boy, shut up.
What? Boy, what are you doing?
I'm gonna fuck you up.
Billy.
Carlo. Did you change that dirty ass
I
diaper?
gotta get the diaper from the closet. You need diaper change? Kylo? Kylo? Come here. Come here. Here, diaper change. Come here, so I can change your diaper. Kylo? Kylo?
Grab him. I'm tired of you just talking to him. Like, get your ass up. Go put your hands on him and grab him. I ain't saying do I grab him. Like, all that extra shit is irritating.
You're irritating.
Be quiet. I'm irritated. Are you sure? Because you sure is on the nigga dick.
Sure.
Okay.
Kylo? Don't make me come kiss you. I'm gonna kiss you. No. No. Kylo? Stop doing. Stop. Wait. Time for diaper change. Diaper change? Carlos. You gotta stop doing that. Diaper change? Here. Boy, relax.
Little boy.
Boy, relax.
Kylo.
Stand up. Wait. No, this dirty. Wait, boy. You feel better? You feel better? Okay. No, boy.
Kylo.
Stinky, I'm gonna. It's time to take your nap. Why do you do that? stink. Oh, blah. K-A-H-L-O. Carlo. Why you did it? Why you did it? Carlo. Carlo. Boy. How they clean?
Stop pulling his fucking legs like that.
Oh wow.
Stop doing dumb shit. You're gonna irritate me, bro. I gotta sit here while you piss me off.
Why you piss me off?
I'm not doing nothing to you.
You are.
Fucking little kid.
You're the little kid.
Shut up.
You.
You're always starting shit, bro. Like,
I
I'm
was
really not
talking
doing nothing
about
to
it.
you, but you don't understand. Like, I can't even sit here and I don't have the luxury of talking back and forth like how you trying to do. Not trying to sound like I'm here arguing with you. Chill. You don't care.
I'm just talking.
Yeah, bitch, whatever. One thing at a time. Why don't you handle him?
Maybe it'll be easier if he's up here. You go eat, chill out.
Bitch.
Come here.
Yes, I
Come here, Kodak. Come here. Kodak, come.
Bruh, he chilling.
No.
Goddamn. Like, you get to spend all this time ignoring me, bro.
I'm not ignoring
Yeah, whatever.
How if I'm here?
Whatever.
I'm ignoring
I'm
you.
talking about the dog you keep fucking with.
Because I wanted to.
I
It's
don't
easier for
give
him.
a fuck. I don't care. That don't mean you force him from chilling comfortably to do what you want him to do. Knowing you're gonna just step on him in a second. Shit. Go there. Tell that bitch quit fucking with you. She annoying.
More. Kodak. Look. You rub it. See how easy you got sat down?
Bitch, shut your ass up. You annoying me. You ain't got to talk when I say that.
Lala, when are you ready for your nap? Here, let's go take your nap, because I'm ready for you to take your nap. Go there. It's not hot. Come on. Come on, so we can go take a nap. Good.
Call love.
Come here. Come here. Come on, Colin. Come on. What?
Got nighters.
Huh? What'd you say? Oh, boy. Stop it.